Rust. No, the game. What the? Rust, one of the most popular and frequently updated survival games out there, made for people who are not afraid of a little grinding and getting offline raided. The main goal is to survive, but as the devs themselves say, everything wants you to die. Today I will look into the lore, conditions, wildlife, other survivors, and finally quality of life in Rust, and briefly explain why you would not survive if you were to be put in this game. Let's talk a little about the lore to understand what situation we're dealing with. To be honest, the lore is not all that clear. The devs made sure to put bits and pieces in the game so that we, the community, could come up with a story for us. There are a lot of interpretations, so there is no one right answer. This would be a good opportunity for you to comment your thoughts down below. The island is home to various structures, civilian, military, and science alike. The decay of the buildings clearly hints towards the fact that they have been there for a very long time. We can see supermarkets, military bases, their convoys, also scientific institutions that all resemble a Soviet-era style. Comparing them to real-life counterparts, it's easy to tell that they are from the Cold War time period. We now know when it was all built, but there is still a question why.
Why?
All writings are in English, they used United States currency and drove American-styled cars. Clearly Americans lived here, but what were they doing here? The company by the name of Cobalt is plastered all over the island. The posters tell us about genetic research, regeneration, and other scientific bits and bobs. Safe to say that this was a scientific research company, which was funded by the Soviet government, although it is known that the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, so all of the funding would be completely gone. The Cobalt company without any money couldn't continue any further research, and fearing that the American government would find out that they teamed up with the Soviets would face major backlash. The head of Cobalt purposefully ruined all facilities with an unhealthy dose of radiation so that the island could decay and not be of interest to anyone. Fast forward a couple of decades, the new head of Cobalt finds out about the company's past. That is, genetic research and a hint at immortality. With the funding of the US government, a scientist crew is sent out to the island and clearly all tests conducted show a green light towards some sort of immortality. Today scientists roam the island to test nature, wildlife, some of the radiation-filled places, and also human subjects. These humans are actually clones of the scientists and engineers, hence their ability to craft almost anything with limited resources. That would be a pretty short summary of the story of Rust. If you want a more detailed, lore-focused video, I recommend Shadowfrax's take on this topic, link down below. Nature took over almost everything on the island. All of the buildings are overgrown and unkept. It has become a perfect environment for the wildlife. There's a desert, a taiga, and a forest biome, and they all have their own little types. For example, deserts have oases, taigas have glaciers even, and forests are home to lakes and swamps alike. Just from exposure alone, either from heat or cold, it would be pretty hard to survive. Almost every single monument is filled with radiation that if exposed to for too long would definitely mean your demise. Just to roam around these parts, you would need a hazmat suit. I would not count regular clothes as protection against radiation because it does cling on to them. Radiation poisoning without modern medicine would be a very painful and slow death, depending on how much radiation you took in. All of the rat pills that you can find on the island are most likely expired and would not help against radiation sickness. Scientists are there to monitor your behavior, but if attacked, they will not go down without a fight. From time to time, patrol helicopters like to make their presence known. They will shoot anything and everything that moves. A more avoidable event would be the cargo ship event. It has some pretty good loot, although there are scientists that will protect it at all costs. Exposure to heat, cold, radiation, and attack helicopters are not enough for you? Well then maybe a wolf pack or a hungry grizzly polar bear would do the trick. The island is home to plenty of wildlife, from chickens to horses and from wolves to bears. A wolf pack will stop for nothing to have some dinner. They're most dangerous during the nighttime when you can't really see them. When it comes to bears, they're dangerous whenever. They will chase you down unless you're the first one to attack. Enjoying the video so far? Don't forget to subscribe. Here you will rarely come across a friendly face. Everyone has the same goal, that is to survive. They don't care about your survival, and if you're carrying something of value to them, which is pretty much anything, they will kill you with a machete, a bow, pistol, assault rifle, or even a simple rock. Exhibit A. Minding your own business in your base, but decide to expand a little to store more of your precious loot? You start breaking a wall, not aware of the dangers that could be lurking right next to you. You finally destroy that one wall, and you are greeted with an arrow to the face. They take over your entire base of operations and also steal all of your loot. Not that it matters anymore, since you are long dead. Exhibit B. Need some wood for smelting some ores? Well, you have to leave your base to go get some. After a little bit of chopping down some trees and getting a sufficient amount, you get attacked. You become startled and not really aware of the enemy's presence. You try to run away, but the final arrow hits, and all of that wood goes to the person that killed you. Not that it matters anymore since you were long dead. Exhibit C. You start chasing down a foe who seems to have farmed up a little. It takes a little time to catch up with him, but it turns out he was aware of your presence and gets his friends to help him take you out. When they kill you, they take all of your stuff away, not that it matters anymore since you are long dead. Other survivors will stop at nothing to kill you, or at least annoy you. They want your stuff, and they will take it eventually, even when you are sleeping. This island is pure chaos. Everyone is out for themselves. When people are not killing you, animals will. If not animals, then exposure, and finally, if not that, then starvation, dehydration, and diseases will definitely take you out. Coming across food and clean water is not the easiest. Canned goods can be found in buildings, but they could be heavily contested. Various plants like corn or pumpkins grow on the island, but you would be long dead before they could grow and become fruitful. Sipping water from a river is not really recommended. God knows what kind of disease you could introduce to your body. Bottles of water can also be found in gas stations and other buildings. However, drinking from them could be a little risky since they are absolutely filthy. The dirt and grime is a perfect habitat for various bacteria. I'm not a doctor, but contracting diseases like tetanus would be a really simple task because of the abundance of rust almost everywhere. One cut and it would be a really painful death. Rabies from wolves, if they don't instantly kill you, would make you beg for a mercy kill. Accidentally undercooked some bear meat? Well, you could contract trichinosis, or whatever it's called. That is a common parasite found in carnivores. Not to mention salmonella that can be contracted from undercooked chicken meat. As mentioned before, radiation poisoning is also no joke. All of these diseases, without any modern medicine, will definitely lead to your death. You arrive at the island without any recollection of past events. How did you get here? Why are you here? Nobody knows. If you are just a clone, you will die and probably come back with no end in sight. You have to be wary of other people, the environment, dangerous wildlife, and finally find out how to keep your belly stuffed. The devs are definitely right on this one. Everything does want you to die. But for now, that naked is coming towards you with that rock, so you better run.